everybody out there. Welcome back to the channel. It's Chris here from JMNC Games, and today we are taking a look at a fun dice game called Las Vegas Royale. Las Vegas, one of my favorite places to visit in the world, and when I need a little taste of the action and I can't get there, well, I invite my friends over and we play this. You are trying to visit as many casinos as you can by having the most dice in each of the casino areas and thus collecting the most amount of money. And of course, the player with the most money at the end of the game is the winner. Now, the game is for 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, and the average game time is just about 45 to 60 minutes. Now, if you haven't already done so, please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. We greatly do appreciate that, and it sure does help us grow. And if you feel so inclined and you want to support the channel directly, you can head on over to the app Buy Me a Coffee. In fact, you'll find the link down in the description below. Now let's dive in and take a look at what's inside the box.
There's 35 dice, 7 of each player's color, 5 larger dice, 1 of each player's color, 2 black dice, 9 blank dice, the dice arena, 3 parts to the ring, 20 chips, 15 counters and tokens, 8 double-sided tiles, and the money cards. To start, we'll show you the basic version of the game, then afterwards we'll show you how to add in the more advanced elements. First, everyone should choose a color. Collect their regular dice and the large die. Place the dice arena in the center of the playing area and place the ring around the dice arena. Each player should collect 2 chips. Shuffle the money cards well and deal out 6 sets of 2 cards each. Compare each pair with the other pairs. The highest valued pair would go by the number 6 spot by the ring like this. The next highest pair would go by the number 5, and so on, until all 6 pairs have been distributed. If 2 pairs have an equal amount between their 2 cards, then the pair that has the higher single card would go in the higher spot. Choose a player to go first, and play will go clockwise around the table. On a player's turn, roll all of your dice into the dice arena. Now the player must choose which of the number 1 to 6 they wish to move to that number on the ring. Whatever number they choose, they must take all of the dice that have the same number and move them together. You can choose any of your numbers shown to move, but whichever number you do select, again, you must take all of the dice with that number. Once you have moved your dice to the desired spot on the ring, you retrieve the rest of your dice and bring them back in front of you. This ends your turn, and now it's time for the next player to go. Play will continue like this until all players have moved all of their dice out to the ring around the arena. Once this happens, you move into the scoring phase of the game. Before we discuss scoring, you should know that if you roll and you don't like any of the dice rolled, you can choose to spend one of your chips. You can then retrieve all of your dice that you just rolled and try again on your next turn. Now, when it comes to scoring, it is pretty simple. Start with the number 6 section of the ring. Whichever player has the most amount of dice on this section will collect the higher money card. Whoever has the second most will collect the lower card. Each of the regular dice are counted as 1, and the larger die is counted as 2. Now, ties are bad in this game. If 2 players are tied, they cancel each other out, meaning neither player gets anything. You would remove their dice from the section and move on to the other players. So for example, let's say we have 4 players in the 6 section. Green and yellow both have the most with a total of 3. Red has 2, and blue has 1. Green and yellow would cancel each other out and get nothing, leaving red with the highest score and blue with the second highest. You keep doing this for all 6 sides of the ring. If only one player is eligible to collect money for a section, then they only collect the higher card. The lower card is returned to the money deck. Now we're ready to start round 2. Each player retrieves all of their dice. Each player collects 2 more chips to add to their collection. Shuffle and deal out 6 new sets of pairs of money cards. Set up the same as you did for round 1. Start play, and the second round is played the same as the first. After round 2, play 1 more round, and at the end of the third round, it's time to add up the score. Players add all of the money cards collected. If they have any chips that they did not use, those are counted as 10,000 per chip to your total. The player with the highest amount of money is the winner of the game. If you're playing a 2-player game, you will need 1 extra set of dice. Before the first player rolls, take the extra set of dice and roll all of the dice. Move all dice to the appropriate section of the ring. Now the 2 players play as normal. At the end, for scoring, you score the same as you would normally, except if the phantom dice win the money in that section, the appropriate card is returned to the money cards. Now, if you were going to play the full version of the game, the setup is the same way, but in addition, you will need to select 3 of the tiles and a side of that tile to be added to the game. The first tile selected goes by the number 1 section in the ring, the second tile by the number 2, and the third by the number 3, with the side of the tile that you are playing face up. These tiles will add extra elements to the game. Now, I won't go over every single tile, but we'll give you a few examples to get you started. You can check the rule book for a breakdown of each tile and what they do. So let's say we have the jackpot on space 1, high 5 on space 2, and prime time on space 3. When you are moving a die or a dice to section 1, you will get to take the jackpot action. Roll the 2 black dice. If you roll a 7 or a double, you win. Collect the value of money listed underneath the jackpot token. If you don't roll a 7 or a double, then you get nothing. Move the jackpot token up to the next level. Keep doing this until someone wins. When they win, move the token back down to the lowest level. When playing the high 5 on the number 2 space, if you are the first player to place a total of 5 number 2 dice on this section, you collect the $100,000 token. Keep in mind that it is a total of 5, so if you have the big die and 3 small dice, that is 5. At the end of the round, you return the token back to the board and collect $100,000 worth of cards from the money deck. When playing the prime time, if you are the winner of this section, at the end of the round, you get to roll the 2 black dice. You can now place 0, 1, or both of these dice into the corresponding areas of the ring to help increase your amount of dice in that section in the hopes of winning more money.
Again, there's lots more options when it comes to these tiles, and it adds different action to the game. So you can always go through the rule book and it will show you how each of the different tiles work. And of course, the extended version of the game, the full version of the game, is the same as the basic version. The person at the end of 3 rounds who has the most money is the winner of the game. And that's Las Vegas Royale. Thanks for joining us today. We sure hope you enjoyed our short explanation on Las Vegas Royale. And if you got any questions on the game, please feel free to drop them down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer those as soon as I can. And while you're there, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. We certainly do appreciate that. Feel like supporting us directly? Just click on the link down there in the description, and it'll take you to the application Buy Me a Coffee, and you can do just that. We sure do thank you for that in advance. Well, now we know the basics, so let's play.